So this past week's lesson was a doozy. We talked about sex. The fact that y'all are surrounded by it so much that everybody around you probably talks about it, maybe more than you wish, and you have feelings about it, so you think about it more than you wish. So why would we not spend some time talking about it as people of faith? Understand me, this is not a sex ed talk. Talk to your parents or someone you trust about that. This is kind of what does God think about sex? And our point last week that we'll get into a little bit is that sex is a big deal to God. And it should be a big deal to us and how we handle it. How do we know it was a big deal to God? Well, He created it, so that's a good start. And then you get into, well, why? Why did He create it? Well, one, so that we could create other humans. Without it, Adam and Eve would have been it, right? It also is kind of a seal the deal of marriage, right? It's called the consummation of marriage. It's this big word that just means like, yeah, we're married. But within that marriage, it's there to foster love and intimacy and closeness they don't experience with anybody else. And lastly, it's there for pleasure. God created it because it's a good thing. So this good thing that God has given us, that's a big deal to Him, it ought to be a big deal to us too. The Bible talks about the time and place for sex. In Genesis 2:24, it says that a man leaves his father and mother and is united with his wife, and the two become one flesh. One flesh, that's sex. That's the intimacy and the love that's experienced inside of marriage. So many ask the question, well, until I'm married, then what do I do? Right? Like it's that how far is too far question. There's a few passages in the New Testament that talk about this. They reference this idea of fleeing sexual immorality and not having a hint of sexual immorality. Again, our moral standards come for us from Scripture, right? So sexual immorality is things that we do with our bodies that are against what God would rather us do. I don't need to sit here and give you a list of do's and don'ts. If you want some of my thoughts on specifics, shoot me a message and I'll tell you. And I know it's not easy, but what's right is often not easy. And because it's a big deal to God, this should be a big deal to us. See you guys next time.